Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Well, we thought this morning a few things were going to be solved in this Nancy Guthrie case, but actually it's just as batshit as ever, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So I'm just sorting out my admin. I've started a bit early. I'm, I'm, I need to go to bed and lie down in a dark room. I mean, it's just since they released the pictures of the suspects from the door cam or CCTV footage or wherever it came from. It's just gone crazy, this case. I mean, it was always crazy. You know, at the end of the day, we always have to remember as well, this is a real person's life we're talking about. This is not a crime show or, you know, an episode of Columbo or whatever. This is a real person who's gone missing, and is likely something bad has happened to Nancy. And we have to remember that. And you know, want to be mindful of that. But John started the police at the sheriff's office. I thought, oh, maybe they're not as bad as we thought they were. I think they are that bad, personally. You know, this sheriff, he needs to come on and make a press conference, a press statement, reassure people, calm the situation down. You know, he needs to put out some official information, because people are going wild with theories now. Wild. The things I've seen on social media and mainstream media. It's just not fair. It's not fair to the family. It's not fair to Nancy, wherever she is, bless her soul. Hopefully she is alive somewhere, but doesn't feel very likely, does it? It's certainly not fair to the family, Nancy's family, who are living in torment, waiting to see what the sheriff's going to come up with next. Um, because very soon after those pictures, sorry, my computer's working slow as usual. I'm trying to do this, just a couple of little things I've got to do. Yeah, ever since the photos and the video footage was released, it's just gone mad, isn't it? So then shortly after that, a guy was arrested, and we watched on the video this morning, not arrested, sorry, let me go back. This poor guy, Carlos, he was not arrested, he was detained, wasn't he? He was detained for questioning. But having said that, the police went to his house where he was living, his mother-in-law's house, where apparently this poor guy's just been evicted not long ago. So he's living at his mother-in-law's house. The police broke in practically to the house. She said she kept asking them, do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant? And they just didn't answer her. I hope she bloody sues them, because at the end of the day, they should have had a warrant to go into that house. Then she said they took her son, who was playing Nintendo. They took him out into the garden and forcibly detained him, questioning him. They didn't take him to the station, but then they wouldn't let any of them go back into the house while they searched it. They probably left it in a complete and utter mess, haven't they? I hope they get some compensation, because listen, I know they're desperate to find Nancy Guthrie, and I'm sure they had their reason for picking on this guy. I have no idea, because the sheriff hasn't said why Carlos was picked out to be detained. You know, we just don't know anything. He just keeps releasing information by press statement and saying, no, there won't be a press conference at this stage. There won't be a press conference at this stage. And just leaving speculation to absolutely run riot, doesn't he? You know, I haven't got much faith in this sheriff, I've got to say. you know, I will take back my words if he ends up finding Nancy in the end. But you just think, why was this man singled out? So apparently, the DoorDash company that he worked for, they've come out and made a statement. I hope Carlos does not get into trouble, you know, at work, um, for this as well. I mean, I just feel like I'm in a parallel universe. Also, I didn't sleep last night, so you know, my head's not working properly. But I had, and it's sort of, you know, I had to call and tell you that he had been released because I was on here this morning telling everybody that he'd been detained. Hi, Sean. What do you make of all this? So don't forget to let me know what you make of it. You know, do you think the chef is incompetent? Do you think he should give press conferences more often? He hasn't done a press conference for ages, but he had time to go to the basketball match, you know, so he can't say that he hasn't got time. He's got to keep on top of, in this day and age with social media that you give out. Hi, Mark. We're back again talking about this case. And the other thing is, I have got a lot of other things to talk about, but I do feel like this case at the moment is consuming so much attention. Everybody's so concerned for Nancy because she's an 84-year-old woman. She's a vulnerable woman. And, you know, it's nice that everybody's concerned for her. But I may have to sort of switch off from it until we actually get a press conference, because you're getting all this information coming out and, you know, oh, this is a suspect. Oh, yeah, the suspect's been detained. Oh, no, he's not without charge. It's all... I'm just... And you know what, Nancy Guthrie, she's not my mother. What are the family going through? All these ups and downs. All this, yes, well, they never said they'd arrested him, to be fair. They said they'd detained him. So they detained him in a traffic stop. And they've gone to his house, searched his house without a search warrant, according to the mother-in-law, because she said she's going to, and they didn't answer her. She speaks perfect English, so there's no... Detained her son, ripped him out, taken him out the house while he's in the middle of playing Nintendo, and got him in the garden in handcuffs. How traumatic for that whole family. Exactly, Mark, because they'll always either release with no charge whatsoever. There's going to be some. He could lose, couldn't he? But he hasn't done anything wrong, or at least haven't charged him with any wrongdoing. And the thing is, we don't know why they ever detained him in the first place. You know, they can't be just detaining every Hispanic male with a beard and a moustache and, you know, stunning eyes. There must have been a reason why they arrested him, hey? I mean, they haven't even charged him with anything to do with the Bitcoin or the ransom note or anything. So why arrest him? What is it? What drew them to him? I wonder. Anyway, let's have a look at him. He's not apologising. I hope they've apologised to him. Let's have a look at him talking about his experience. Poor guy. Now, it may be, if he's got any sense, like he's already given a couple of interviews, he should charge for his interviews, and then at least, you know, apparently he's been evicted from his apartment. That's why he's living with his mother-in-law. It's her daughter's husband or partner. Sorry about that. I've got a Coca-Cola here, and it's too gassy for me, really. I'm not a big Coke drinker. But okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the videos. Not that one. Hang on, I just need to put a couple of windows down. I feel like a zombie because I haven't slept all night. I need to get a nap or something. I will have after this video. I will definitely be having. Where's these videos that I got ready? Oh, they're on X, I think. Yeah, there you go. Right, let me share them. So this is him. This is the guy. His name's Carlos. He's a delivery driver in Tucson. He says he's no idea what was happening. He just works as a delivery driver. He says, of course, this is just what he says. He has no idea why he was arrested. He knows nothing about the Guthrie family, So let's just have a look at him talking.
Just put it all the time. Okay, that's what they told me. Where were they? In the back of a car. Back of a car. I ran a car, and then they moved me into question, but they only asked me for my first. What were they asking you about?
What it was.
Where my whereabouts. Okay. Where was I and all that, but. Are you ever up in Tucson? Yeah, I work in Tucson. What do you do? GLS, deliver packages. Okay, do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house? I don't know. Might have been a possibility. I don't know. Yeah, do you ever deliver you were apprehended for questioning? How would you describe what happened to you? Terrifying. Something I didn't do for something. I was being I felt like I was being kidnapped, bro. They didn't tell me anything at the beginning. And investigators showed up to this house, or were you the one who was pulled over at the traffic stop? I was the one that was pulled over at the traffic stop. Where was that? Right here on by Chubasco. Okay, and you were taken into custody at that point? Yeah. And you were. I was being detained. Detained. Okay. I was detained the whole time. Okay, that's what they told me. Where were they holding? The back of a car. I ran a car, and then they moved me into a Pima County sheriff. Were you being questioned in the car? At the Marina car, I was being questioned, but they only asked me for my first name, my last name, my date of birth, and my social. Okay. What were they asking you about? Where my whereabouts. Okay. Where do I work? Where was I, and all that. But are you ever up in Tucson? Yeah, I work in Tucson. What do you do? GLS, deliver packages. Okay. Do you think you might have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house? I don't know. Might have been a possibility. I don't know. Yeah. Do you ever deliver like Amazon packages or anything? Well, it's kind of the same thing. Yeah. So do you think you may?
Right. I wonder if the full interview's anywhere. Let's have a look. Brian Ensign might have it actually. Let me just find him. Yeah, so the guy's like, I don't know. I think JLR might have. So Jay Gates says that this guy says he's innocent. He has nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie. Let's have a look at his a bit of a longer interview. So, you can imagine this poor guy, all the media around him.
So nothing. They just sent me in the car. They investigated my car and this one, and that's it. They didn't ask me. Nope, it's right there.
Oh, they gave it back to you. So
yeah, it's like.
And they said you can go home.
Yeah.
And how did they treat like the people you were with, your girl, your child? Yeah, not understood. Yep.
How's your family? They stared at you. Don't watch the Today Show. No, this was a complete shock.
It was.
What was?
Questions were they asking you?
Nothing. They didn't ask me no questions.
So they just said
nothing. They just sent me in the car. They investigated my car and this one, and that's it. They didn't ask me no questions. No.
Did you get the other car back, or they still have it?
No, it's right there.
Oh, they gave it back to you. So
yeah, it's like.
And they said you can go home.
I wonder.
And how did they treat like the people you were with?
Sorry
Your
about
girl,
that.
your child.
I don't want to speak.
Yeah,
about
not
that.
understood. Yep.
How's your family? They
Well, they're all
scared
in
everybody.
shock.
I was gonna say they scared everybody, huh?
Yeah, they're all in shock right now.
They're all in shock.
They damaged the
Poor
house.
family.
Yeah.
What did he do to the
They
house?
broke the doors. What else? The garage door in the back. Mm.
So I don't know what happens in cases like this. So they broke the door. The police broke the door, broke the garage door. Will they get? They must get compensation. They wouldn't let them go back into the house, would they? Now I wonder if at some point he has dropped off a package at Nancy's house, and that's why he was singled out. Why else would he be singled out? Oh, honestly, my head hurts with this case. My heart just goes out to Nancy's family, because if this is how I feel, and this is not my mother, not my loved one, and the way it's making my head hurt, and just how do they feel? And this guy, now I'm feeling for this guy, because if he hasn't done anything wrong, that's a horrible experience, isn't it, for him and his family to go through.
So what are you gonna do now?
I'll try to clear my name. I didn't do anything.
Well, this is one.
And that's done. I mean, I hope they get the suspect, because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it, so they can clear my name. I'm done. Look at what I'm putting my family through.
You're on
Not just
national
them,
news now.
Not just them. Even my parents in Tucson.
Right.
Yeah.
And your mother-in-law was worried about you. She was saying it doesn't look anything like him.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm telling you guys.
Why do you think they came here? Why did you think they came to you?
If I would have known that answer, I would have given it to you, but I don't.
So you have no idea what led them
No,
to
I
you.
don't.
Nothing. They didn't
Nothing.
give. They didn't say car make, a license. Nothing.
Nada.
Carlos, ¿hablas español?
Los dos. Soy bilingüe.
Carlos, si nos puedes platicar en español para Telemundo Arispe.
I'm done.
Okay.
What's your name?
Sorry, what's your name, sir?
Danos una
Carlos.
declaración en español, por favor.
Gracias, Carlos.
Gracias.
Gosh, let's just watch that again there. So I really feel for these people. And I think it's you there saying about it. Like, I bet you thought it was a nice raid. At the end of the day, at the moment in America, just for looking Hispanic, whether you're legal or not, just for having dark hair, dark skin, and a tattoo or whatever, you could be rounded up and shot at any time by ICE. I mean, ICE are killing their own citizens, American citizens who don't even look like immigrants. So, he must. I bet that was his first thought when he got pulled over. Oh my God, is this ICE? So what they're going to do? Just arrest every Hispanic person who's been to. I mean, this is Arizona. There are a lot of Hispanic people, and they've all got those dark eyes and the beards, and he looked like he could be the person in the photos, with the ski mask on and just the eyes showing and the facial hair and of course it could have been him. It could be any Hispanic or Arabic or dark-skinned Mediterranean person. But the thing is, you've got to think that there was a reason that they actually detained him. They didn't just pick him up off the street because he had a goatee beard or whatever. So you've got to presume that something led them to him, to his van. Had he delivered something to Nancy's? Like when they asked him, he said he didn't remember. Well, I can quite imagine that he might remember. He went but he worked in Tucson, he said, so he could have gone to anybody's house and dropped a package off. And often you don't even meet the person, do you? They just drop the packages at the door. There was a package dropped at the door, wasn't there? So that might be why. But until the bloody deputy dog, the bloody sheriff, Keystone Cop guy comes on and tells us why this guy was ever detained in the first place. Now, you might think, well, we don't have the right to know, but I think we do, because I'll tell you why. Because this guy, he deserves to know why he was picked on out of everybody. And the police should be saying why, whatever it was, whether it was just that he dropped off a package, then they were just examining that possibility, ruling him out. That's fair enough to say that you're ruling somebody out. But when they don't say anything, oh God, the things I've seen on X about this guy, they were saying, well, first of all, he's been about 5 different Carloses, photos flagging up people of different ages. Then someone who said, oh, it was an SEX offender. Then they were saying, oh, he was on the run. He was just about to go over the border to Mexico. What else have they been saying about him? Oh, you name it, they've been saying it about him. So, yeah, I think the police should say something about this guy and exonerate him properly. I do think that.
I don't follow the news.
Right.
I don't watch.
You don't watch the Today Show.
No.
So this was a complete shock.
It was.
What kind of questions were they asking you?
Nothing. They didn't ask no questions.
So they just said,
nothing. They
so they
just sent
took
me in the car. They investigated my car and this one, and that's it. They didn't ask me no questions.
Did you get the other car back, or they still have it?
No, it's right there.
Oh, they gave it back to you. So
Yeah, it's like.
and they said you can go home.
Yeah.
And how did they treat like the people you were with, your girl, your child?
Oh, I don't want to speak
Yeah,
about
not
that,
understood.
you know
Yep.
what I mean?
How's your family? They
Well, they're all
scared
in
everybody. I was gonna say they scared everybody, huh?
Yeah, they're all in shock right now.
Wow.
Did they damage the house? Yeah.
What did they do to the
They
house?
broke the doors. What else? The garage door in the back. Yeah.
So what are you gonna do now?
I'll try to clear my name. I didn't do anything.
Well,
Can
this
you
is
tell us
one
your
of
name
the-
again? And yeah, I mean, I hope they get the suspect. 'Cause I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name. I'm done.
Exactly. So now there'll be people out there, and it's possible. Do you think they've released him, but maybe he is a suspect? I don't know. That woman, his mother-in-law, when she was being interviewed, she said, didn't she say that somebody told her they'd had a tip that Nancy Guthrie was in her house? And so they, and look, they may have had a tip. And at the end of the day, this is a frail old lady that's been kidnapped, and they have to explore the tips that they get, don't they? But I mean, I could phone them up tomorrow and say, oh, such and such, maybe if somebody had a grudge against this guy, or maybe they just saw him on that video and thought, oh, that looks a bit like Carlos. Could just be somebody who hates him. Phone up the police and say, oh, look, I think this is Carlos, whatever. And I heard an old lady talking in the house. People do things like that. I've seen loads of cases where ex-wives, particularly, and ex-husbands ring up about their exes, don't they? And so I think this is my ex who's done this. So yeah, could have just been somebody with a grudge against this poor guy, against Carlos. So they have to go in gently, don't they? Why did they go in so, breaking the door down? That's what makes me think, surely, to break the doors down and go in all guns blazing like that, they must have had what they thought was a reliable tip-off. But now they've released him, and they haven't put out a statement, though. Deputy Dog, the Crapo police sheriff, he hasn't put out any statement about the release of this guy, or not that I've seen anyway. Maybe one will come. He needs to do a press conference pronto, I think. He needs to say what is real information, what is false information, that whether this guy has been cleared completely or whether he's still under any. He needs to come clean with the public.
Look at what I'm putting my family through.
You're on national news now.
Not just them. Even my parents in Tucson.
Right.
Yeah.
And your mother-in-law was worried about you. She was saying it doesn't look anything.
Oh yeah, so he's saying even his parents in Tucson have received unwanted attention, because as soon as his mother-in-law, of course, when she was being interviewed, she released his name, didn't she, without thinking? That just shows you that he is probably completely innocent, because if you're there and I think it was Brian Ensign said to her, "Oh, what's his name?" It was a bit wrong really to do that, and she just said, "Oh, it's Carlos, and whatever his surname is." And if you truly are innocent, you wouldn't think to give a name, not to give a name like that, because she genuinely thought there's nothing to it. Whereas if it's a shady family, that where if you were thinking, oh yeah, he might have had something to do it, there's no way you would give the name, is there? But she gave his name freely. I bet he's a bit pissed off about that. It's like, yeah, you get he's been detained by the police, and then on the telly, his mother-in-law's just giving away his name, his full name, and everything. Even the police weren't divulging the name. But yeah, so what are we supposed to suspect every single Latino-looking person with a goatee beard and dark eyes? Because that's probably millions of them, isn't there? Of course they are. That is a typical look for a Latino person, and yeah, they need. They can't. Why did they go to?
Like
Yeah, see, that's what I'm telling you guys.
Why do you think they came here? Why did you think they came to you?
If I would have known that answer, I would have given it to you, but I don't.
So you have no idea what led them to you. Nothing. They didn't say car make, a license, nothing.
Nada.
Carlos, ¿hablas español?
Los dos. Soy bilingüe.
Carlos, si nos puedes platicar en español para Telemundo Arizona, ¿qué fue lo que sucedió?
Pues me estaban acusando de secuestro, algo que yo no hice. Y me...
What's your name?
Sorry, what's your name, sir?
Carlos. En español, por favor.
Maybe he is connected in some way. Maybe they've just released him because they're hoping that he'll lead them to somebody else. It's possible. Anything's possible in this case, don't you think? I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I feel like a zombie because I've not slept all night because I've been looking for news of this case all the time. I've got to switch off from it a little bit because I've got other things, for us to talk about, other cases. And, having said that, of course, it's so important that Nancy is found. But, of course, all the victims are important, aren't they? Yeah. They would need a press conference one way or the other. There, of course, will be a reason why this guy was picked up. They won't have just picked him up, out of the blue. Maybe he did deliver a package there. He's a package delivery. I suppose if anything ever happened to me, they're going to look into any Amazon deliveries that I've had over the last month or whatever. So... Yeah, well, I haven't seen any official confirmation of that link, so I can't confirm if that's true or not. This is the whole point of what I'm saying. All the rumours that are flying around, where's the official confirmation of what's going on? I've heard this talk about the electrician, I've heard the talk about this, that, and the other, and it's all possible. But, where's the official confirmation of that? There was some podcaster was saying, putting up a picture of a 50-odd-year-old man and saying that was this Carlos and he was an offender and this, that, and the other. This is the rumours that fly around. Unless you can actually, have a reliable source for things, you cannot believe what you see on social media or even mainstream media. So they're not much better. So I think what I'm going to do here with this case is I'm going to step back from it a little bit, because I don't want to be out there spreading rumours that I don't know are true. You know, when things come out and they're official, I'm happy to talk about them. You know, so, well, no one said they picked him up out of the blue, Lynn. You know, nobody said, but what I'm saying is they've released him without charge. So they was picked up because it's not fair on him. It's not fair on the whole community. It's not fair on the family. We've been press now for, gosh, how many days has it been? Ages. So, I hope they do a conference later. I just, well, for Nancy first and foremost, wherever she is, hopefully she's still alive, but we don't know. And then family, who, if this rose that's blowing all lines, how does the family? It must be just awful. My heart just goes out to them, you know. I hope they get some realistic answers soon, you know, some proper answers, not just this. Now, in some ways, the sheriff is always stuck between a rock and a hard place, because if he wouldn't have released a statement saying somebody had been detained, he would have been reviled for that, wouldn't he? So he released the statement saying someone had been detained. But of course, it's turned out he's had to release that person. He's not made a statement about that. So I don't know. It's mind-blowing, the whole thing. So bless him. Bless the sheriff. I do think the sheriff's out of his depth. I thought it right at the beginning. He's like, you know, he's understood. He's never been seen. You know that, don't you? So the actual sheriff has never been to reassure, you know, they feel some woman, some 84-year-old woman in bad health has been snatched right from the midst of their community, and nobody knows what's happened to her. Why, you know, to real people or whatever, I don't know. To me, it reminds me a lot of Andrew Snowden during the Nicola case a few years ago, just totally unaware of the effect that the case was having on everybody. And he was just talking about what he had for dinner and what wine he was drinking and this, that, and the other, just oblivious. And I think this sheriff is the same. I don't think he realises, he's not registering just how it's affecting people. Not only Nancy, not only the family, the community, and the whole of America, really, because we're all sort of worrying about Nancy as well. So it's affecting everybody. I just don't think he's like getting that. I don't know. I'm thinking about when we covered the Rachel Marin case and the sheriff in that case. He did come on regularly to give updates. It took a long time for Rachel Marin's killer to be caught, but the sheriff always sort of came on and said what he could. Listen, if there are things you can't say, you just say you can't say them. You know, that it's better to come on and say things like that than come on and say anything, I think. But okay, so that's it. I'm not saying I won't be back talking about Nancy, because of course if there's any, but I'm only coming back to talk about Nancy if there's any proper developments, you know, in the sense of we'll see like official things. Now the FBI themselves, they were there, weren't they, in the neighbourhood last night, looking to all those. No, it feels to me like they think that unless it's a distraction from other things, it seems to me that they feel that Nancy is around there somewhere. You know, that the answers are round about there. I mean, where would you take an 84-year-old woman? So, you know, the FBI were concentrating yesterday on the environment around Nancy's house. So we'll see what happens around 4 o'clock when America wakes up again. the next bit of chaos. I read somewhere actually that somebody else had been arrested. I don't know if that's true, but I'm sure that I saw it would have been on X probably. I've noticed that X is not a reliable source of information a lot of the time, depending on who, of course, is giving that information. But yeah, I'm sure I saw that somebody else had been arrested as well. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Somebody did something to Nancy. Let's hope it all gets sorted. And I mean, the best case scenario is that Nancy is alive somewhere, but you know, every day that passes, it seems less likely, doesn't it? So, anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for caring about Nancy. Don't forget, as always, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. We've probably got opposite views and things, but well, you know, he might hand the case over, Lynn, but he's still in charge of the case. He's still the sheriff, the elected sheriff of that area. Doesn't mean to say he can't, you know, say anything, does it? He's dealt with it badly from day one. I mean, just no wonder the FBI have taken over. I mean, just the way that he dealt with the crime scene was ridiculous. You know, they called it a crime scene from day one. They cordoned it off for 1 or 2 days. Then opened it up, and then here in the world was there. It had not been dealt with. He didn't deal with it well, so nobody FBI. Hopefully the FBI did it a bit better. We'll see. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you really soon in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and press notification bell. And yeah, if I hear anything proper, confirm, not just when I'll be back. Okay, thank you so much today, and it's time to go with you. Bye-bye.